It is your fate that should concern you, Cetrion.
Hello and welcome to another marvelous video. We are glad you joined us back as we continue exploring the backstories of iconic Mortal Kombat characters, and today's character is Sindel. Mortal Kombat Sindel is the queen of Outworld. She was the more noble and well-intentioned ruler of Outworld for most of the series, despite being overshadowed by her evil husband, Shao Kahn. When she did act, she showed far more morals and empathy than her husband can ever hope to, especially in light of Mortal Kombat 2's depiction of Shao Kahn's cruel rule. Even though she wasn't one of the central characters, she had faith that things in Outworld may get much better when Shao Kahn's rule ended.
Defeat me.
I am not finished yet.
The creators will be able to correct the errors made by Sindel in Mortal Kombat 11 when Mortal Kombat 12 is launched. Sindel was formerly a somewhat loved character, but alterations to her personality, notably in Mortal Kombat 11, have turned her into one of the most despised characters in the series, one of the worst character blunders the series has ever made. But there is an opportunity to repair it shortly. So let's take a look at Sindel's backstory from the top. But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a whole lot. So thank you, and let's get into it.
Come forward if you dare! I will finish what the Lin Kuei could not!
History of Sindel. Despite her stern look, Sindel is actually gentle and compassionate, at least in the original timeline. Together with her daughter, Princess Kitana, she ruled the realm of Edenia. In more than one aspect, Sindel's power appears to be an inner ethereal kind. She is an elderly and mature lady with flowing gray hair and a royal demeanor appropriate for her role as Queen of Edenia. Her ability to float and manipulate sonic waves demonstrates her innate love for aerial magic. She made her debut in Mortal Kombat 3. Her backstory begins tragically 10,000 years ago when Shao Kahn invaded her kingdom and she was forced to witness her husband King Jerrod's death and the enslavement of her people. She was then forced to marry Kahn, and soon after, Kitana, her daughter with Jerrod, was adopted by Kahn as his own daughter. As a mother, wife, and queen, this proved to be too much for her, and shortly after the invasion, she committed suicide to escape what she thought would be an eternity of servitude to her new husband. However, Kahn wouldn't let this new queen go so easily, and by holding her soul in Outworld by an unidentified method, he prevented her from passing into the afterlife. After Shao Kahn would plan to resurrect his lover with the help of the evil elder god Shinnok, but not in the Outworld. Instead, she would be resurrected on Earth, enabling Shao Kahn to claim her for himself by crossing the boundaries dividing the realms and bringing about the union of the Earth and the Outworld. Additionally, she would be resurrected in a brainwashed state, utterly oblivious to her history and faithful to her spouse. After sorcerer Shang Tsung failed to secure Earth in the Mortal Kombat tournament, Kahn followed this scheme, which was partially successful. Sindel was revived as planned, and Kahn was able to gain a partial union of the worlds through her regeneration before Earth's warriors destroyed him. However, Kahn didn't just lose Earth in his defeat. Kitana, finding that her mother was still alive, convinced her of her actual background, turning Sindel against the Emperor. As Kahn's defeat succeeded in severing it from their home realm of Edenia, Sindel ascended the throne, vowing to restore their home and hunt down Shao Kahn for his endless atrocities. Those preparations, however, had to be put on hold when one of Sindel's people, Tanya, the daughter of an Edenian envoy of the realms, betrayed her nation, allowing the Netherrealm armies of the fallen elder god Shinnok to conquer the palace and the whole realm of Edenia, as shown in Mortal Kombat 4. Though Kitana escaped, Sindel was apprehended and imprisoned in her own dungeon until Shinnok's army was vanquished. Enraged by this fresh invasion of her realm, Sindel dispatched Kitana to ally with the Shao Kahn soldiers and lead them into a war against a weakened Shao Kahn, all the while continuing to restore Edenia to its former glory. Unfortunately, Sindel's intentions to restore Edenia would have to be postponed once more. The establishment of the Deadly Alliance caused tension between Kitana, her old companions, and her alliance. They were murdered in combat only to be revived as mindless soldiers under the power of Anaga, the Dragon King. In Mortal Kombat Deception, Edenia finally fell to a Naga and Sindel was captured and once again imprisoned in one of her own royal dungeons guarded by the deluded Kitana. Sindel did not attempt to liberate herself since she knew it would only force her to harm her own daughter. Fortunately, Jade was able to beat Kitana, free Sindel, and flee to Outworld with her. Sindel makes one brief last appearance from the original timeline in Mortal Kombat Armageddon, where she joins the forces of Light during the Battle of Armageddon. Eventually, she dies after getting stabbed with a sword by an unidentified combatant.
Asian.
Quiet, child. It is time for you to join your friends.
After that, the timeline was shifted in Mortal Kombat 9, released in 2011. According to the current timeline, Sindel's narrative begins 10,000 years ago when Shao Kahn captures her kingdom. Sounds familiar, right? Wait for the twist. Recognizing that she may lose her monarchy, she betrays and murders her husband, King Jarrod, in order to save her position. You didn't see that one coming now, did ya? As Shao Kahn's wife and Empress of Outworld, she declares to the Edenians that her marriage to Kahn was forced upon her. Shao Kahn adopts Kitana, an infant then and whom he intended to kill, but Sindel's distress convinces him that her daughter is worthy of life, and he is forced to spare her to satisfy his new empress. He governed with Sindel until she was assassinated by Quan Chi. Quan Chi murders Sindel because he knows that she won't comply and will pose a significant threat to Shinnok in the Netherrealm. According to Quan Chi, Sindel killed herself after betraying Shao Kahn and erecting a magical barrier over Earthrealm to stop Kahn from conquering it. In actuality, following Sindel's death, Quan Chi established a magical ward over Earthrealm in order to carry out the plot to assassinate Shao Kahn. Quan Chi resurrects Sindel in Mortal Kombat 9, binding her mind to his will. Her resurrection dissolves the ward over Earthrealm, allowing Shao Kahn to move on with new plans. After Raiden kills Mataro, Shao Kahn steals Shang Tsung's soul, killing him in the process, and provides his empress with the strength she needs to fight her adversaries. After that, Sindel leads the Lin Kuei cyborgs, including Sector and Cyrax, in an assault on the Earthrealm warriors while being strengthened by Shang Tsung's souls. Sindel assaults and kills nearly all the Earthrealm soldiers by herself while the cyborgs are all destroyed, gravely injuring her daughter Kitana in the process. She then rejects her daughter's cries and devours her soul. Nightwolf then challenges her, giving his life to defeat her. Only Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade manage to live, albeit with severe wounds. After encountering the Elder Gods, Raiden and Liu Kang discover a dying Kitana when they go home. In the end, Kitana succumbs to her injuries while conversing with Liu Kang. Raiden travels to the Netherrealm to ask for Quan Chi's help to end Shao Kahn. The Necromancer claims that he already possesses Sindel's soul and the souls of everyone else who ever died in the most recent wars. Next, in Mortal Kombat 10, Sindel takes part in Shinnok's invasion of Earthrealm as a corrupted revenant and is a vital player in the attack on Raiden's Sky Temple. Sindel attempts to assassinate Fujin just outside the Jinsei chamber but is stopped and beaten by Raiden. She engages in combat with the former revenant Jax in the Netherrealm 25 years later, where she loses. When Scorpion murders Quan Chi, Raiden's chances of reviving Sindel and other revenant heroes to their original forms are lost. Sindel confronts Johnny Cage after Shinnok begins corrupting the Jinsei. Cassie asks Sindel whether she feels guilty for killing her own daughter Kitana, and Sindel responds that they have been reunited as a true family in death. She also offers to raise a possible undead Cassie, but Cassie refuses and beats her. Sindel assists the other revenants in their struggle against Cassie's allies as she travels to confront Shinnok. When Shinnok is vanquished, Sindel and her companions flee back to the Netherrealm. In Mortal Kombat 11, Sindel's background is twisted once again, showing that she has been wicked all along, with her alleged refusal to marry Shao Kahn being a lie she concocted to keep the Edenians, particular Kitana, faithful to her. She loathed Jarrod for bartering away their powers and feeling that they were no better than commoners while falling in love with Shao Kahn's resolve to establish his control and seize what was rightfully his. She makes her appearance in Mortal Kombat 11. Sindel Sindel, still a revenant, faces Fujin, Shang Tsung, and Nightwolf, who are imprisoned in Shinnok's fully reconstructed Bone Temple. Her revenant persona has a hatred towards Nightwolf since he murdered her before she was revived by Quan Chi. Anyway, the three of them convey her incapacitated corpse to Shiva for assistance. Sindel seems to forgive Shiva for how she died after being completely revived. She told Kitana that she had never abandoned her and that Quan Chi had murdered her and disguised her death as a suicide. She also claimed Shao Kahn coerced her into becoming his bride. She then consented to assisting Shang Tsung's troops in their quest for the throne along with Nightwolf. Later, the two came across Cetrion. Sindel stepped in just as Nightwolf was ready to kill Cetrion by sacrificing himself, as he had done also with Sindel, and the two were able to overpower Cetrion. Then, Shang Tsung and Fujin compelled Cetrion to flee. Nightwolf stayed with the Briggs family, Shang Tsung and Fujin returned to Raiden, and Sindel went back to the Outworld to help Kitana, apparently. Sindel told Shang Tsung in private that Kitana was a fool for cooperating with Raiden. Sindel killed the two Shokans who were torturing Shao Kahn in order to save him. The two intended to remove Kitana from power. Shiva overheard the exchange and the two got into a fight, which ended with Shiva losing. When more Shokans showed up, they found Shiva's lifeless body. In order to get the Shokan army to side with her against Kitana, Sindel lies to them and places the blame on Kitana. The Shokans appeared out of nowhere and started attacking Sonya Blade's warriors while she was waiting for Shiva and the Shokans. Sindel knocked her out. After that, Sindel and Shao Kahn engaged in combat with Cassie and Johnny Cage. One of them defeats the two, and as a result, the Shokans capture them. Both Sindel and Shao Kahn ransacked Kitana's vessel. Kung Lao went up against the two, but lost. Sindel vanquished Jade while Kotal and Shao Kahn battled. Sindel was fighting and Kitana begged her to stop, thinking Shao Kahn had possessed her. Sindel was never actually tricked. She tells Kitana the truth about her involvement in the murder of King Gerard and her subsequent marriage to Shao Kahn. Sindel overcame her daughter, leaving Kitana astonished and devastated, and Shao Kahn vanquished Liu Kang. All of Kitana's warriors betrayed her after Sindel and Shao Kahn painted her as a traitor. Sindel decided to bind Kitana as Shao Kahn used his hammer to injure Liu Kang fatally. Sindel, Shao Kahn, and the other warriors attacked both Earthrealm and Netherrealm armies after Kotal was killed. After defeating Nightwolf, Jax, Fujin, and Raiden, the remainder of the Outworld allied with Shang Tsung. Sindel eliminated the revenants of Jade and Kitana when they entered the Hourglass, while Shang Tsung eliminated the revenant Kung Lao. Shang Tsung betrays Sindel and Shao Kahn as they prepare to battle with Kronika. The pair engaged in a combat with the sorcerer but lost. Then once Shang Tsung had taken Sindel and Shao Kahn's souls, they were both slain.
Destroy everything.
Sindel in Mortal Kombat Annihilation 1997. Sindel made an appearance in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which is a sequel to the hit 1995 movie Mortal Kombat. She continued her role as Shao Kahn's wife and queen. Musetta Vandar, a South African actress, plays the character of Sindel in the movie. During the course of the movie, she is promoted to general in Shao Kahn's army. A debate between Kitana and Khan indicates that the latter was responsible for Sindel's suicide, which was taken from the games. Legend has it that she was the key to closing Khan's portals to Earth, but her daughter Kitana is now thought to be the key. This narrative is proved to be a fabrication upon her initial arrest and reunion with Kitana, and Sindel escapes from the Earthrealm warriors before later meeting Kitana in the ultimate battle. Sindel dominates the combat at first, but Kitana eventually overcomes her mother. After Khan's defeat to Liu Kang, his hold over Sindel is shattered and her alliances shift. To emphasize this, she wears a symbolic white dress as she reunites with her daughter. What makes Sindel so deadly? Sindel, as an Edenian, possesses a variety of supernatural abilities. Her ultrasonic deafening screaming is one of her signature skills, which is called Banshee Screaming. The intensity and powers appear to vary depending on the focus. This can range from sonic blasts to a powerful sound wave that can thoroughly remove an opponent's skin, as seen when she delivers her fatality move, which is called Deadly Scream and was first shown in Mortal Kombat 3. She can also tone it it down to the point of paralyzing the unsuspecting. Another of her magical abilities is her prehensile hair, which can be utilized as both a throw and a finisher in Mortal Kombat 3, where it may wrap itself around the opponent to toss and occasionally restrict them. Another unique feature of Sindel is her ability to float in the air, which aside from being her winning position, may be utilized to escape assaults while also dealing damage. According to Chronica in Mortal Kombat 11, Sindel is one of the few mortal beings who can injure an Elder God, as seen during her confrontation with Cetrion. In the new timeline, her fatalities included Migraine in Mortal Kombat 9, where Sindel yells into the ear of her adversary, severing the other half of their skull. Another one is called Mouthful, in which Sindel screams into her hand to conjure an energy ball, which she then rams into her opponent's throat. Their heads explode with the pressure she applies to their jaws by not letting them open their mouths. In Mortal Kombat 11, Sindel utilizes a backflip to knock out the opponent backwards before grabbing their arms with her hair. She then yells at them so loudly that their skins rip away from their bodies, finally tearing off from their bottom half. She then comes to a halt to give one final fireball scream that shreds the opponent's body apart, leaving only their severed arms gripped by her hair. This fatality move is called Scream Queen. Another fatality from Mortal Kombat 11 is called Hair Today, Gone Tomorrow, where Sindel impales her opponent through their lips and into their body with her hair. The victim's legs, limbs, face, and ultimately torso are all impaled by her hair once it emerges through their stomach and closes around them. The victim is wrapped in Sindel's hair, which she then aggressively stretches out while leaning backwards, yanking her hair off of their body and ripping them into pieces like a gory mess. Quite brutal, but everybody loves a good fatality move.
Sindel, you look well. Death becomes...
Marvelous appearances of Sindel in other media. Sindel makes an appearance in the Warner premiere produced in 2011 web series titled Mortal Kombat Legacy, where she is portrayed by Canadian actress Patrice Ilg. She continues to rule Edenia as queen in this universe, although she doesn't seem to have the same abilities as her game counterpart. She appears in flashbacks in the 4th episode of the Outworld invasion of Edenia, cradling her baby daughter Kitana. At the same time, they are being protected by 2 Edenian knights until Tarkatan almost kills them. Sindel's spouse, King Gerard, intervenes to save her as she retreats from the oncoming beast. They leave the castle on his assurance that he will see her to her safety, but Baraka slays Gerard, and Shao Kahn tells the astonished Sindel that her husband was only a decoy because he had already escaped. Shao Kahn compelled Sindel to serve as his bride and queen after seizing complete control of Edenia, and he adopted Kitana as his daughter. Shao Kahn eventually starts to love Sindel genuinely, but she could only despise him and turned off his advances. Sindel was overcome with terror and loathing when she learned Shao Kahn had made a clone of her young daughter Kitana with Tarkatan characteristics. Sindel took a potion to murder herself, putting her soul into Kitana's, shielding her from Shao Kahn out of fear that Kitana's soul would be tainted by his influence. After her father Gerard passed away, Kitana would not learn the truth about her ancestry until many years later when Sindel's spirit awoke in her. Interesting facts about Sindel. Sindel was initially scheduled to appear in Mortal Kombat 4, but was swapped by Fujin. Sindel is one of the few characters who is technically dead in both the original and current timelines. During the events of the original timeline, she is slain during the Battle of Armageddon by an unknown opponent. The present timeline and her Mortal Kombat 11 render reveal that she is an undead revenant. Sindel was one of the numerous Mortal Kombat 3 characters whose names were not revealed until the game was nearly finished. The programmers dubbed her Muchacha and the Bride throughout the development. Both Sub-Zero and Raiden, who appear as guest characters in Injustice 2, acknowledge her. The former compares her to Black Canary, while Raiden compares Starfire to the Edenian Queen. She is the only Revenant who was not brought back to life by Raiden.
Victory is mine, shaman!
marvelous verdict. To say that Sindel's change in the current timeline offended the players would be an understatement. She'd been twisted into a villain who, except for her look and moveset, bore a little similarity to the prior character. Fans used the hashtag #NotMySindel to voice their displeasure with NetherRealm's treatment of her character. For no apparent reason, she had been transformed from a flawed but kind queen into a remorseless, backstabbing dictator. It was a significant and unwelcome character change, and many fans considered the Mortal Kombat 11's retcons destroyed Sindel's persona. With the finale of Mortal Kombat 11 hinting at another temporal reset, the possibility of returning Sindel to her original nature still exists. Sindel's most recent incarnation has nothing significant to give, so maybe Mortal Kombat 12 will find a way to restore her to her former splendor. So what do y'all think about Sindel's story change? Are you hashtagging #NotMySindel? Well, let us know below in the comments. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. And in the meantime, have a good one, be safe, thank you everyone, and we will see you next time.